Welcome back, and thanks for joining me. It's Judy from Thistledew Creations, and today I wanted to do some more mini folios. I've been doing these. This is I did this one first. It was just a few index cards put together with music paper and fabric and some napkin on the front. That was a very basic one, and then I kind of branched into this where I added in a playing card as a flip and a library card as a flip, as well as the index card in the back there, and did an interesting fold out page in the center and another little tuck spot for an extra card. So that's how my ideas progressed. And then this is the second one I did, trying to use the same formula as this one with the pinks. And I used 2 index cards this time. Used 2 playing cards, the same, to make my flip and my tuck journaling card, and then fold out in the center. It's a tuck spot behind as well. The card fits best here. And then I graduated to this larger one where I used the cover from a Dollarama paper pack that was this size paper. There's a video on this one. And some scrapbook paper, old music paper, die cuts, lace, trims, a glassine bag for storage. And then I tucked another little mini notebook in here that was made out of index cards. I haven't done anything with index cards before Thanksgiving this year, and then I'm kind of hooked on them now. And then in this tuck spot at the back, there's just some folded up scrapbook paper, and I just love this vintage music paper with the vintage tape, and it's actual vintage tape, not faux. So that's sort of been my journey for making these folios. So the other night while I was watching TV, I made some what I would call blanks. Oh, before I continue any further, while I'm making this video on my iPhone, I'm watching or running Caroline's Craft Tree video on my iPad on YouTube. So just a shout out to Caroline, and I will link her YouTube channel in the comments or in the description box below if you want to check out her channel. I always try to watch hers and a few others, so I thought I would start mentioning them and linking them so that we can help each other out. So these are what I would call blanks. They're index cards. I used lined index cards and ABC index card dividers, as well as playing cards, and I glued them together with strips from the insides of envelopes and just left them blank. I did 4 of them in one evening. Not a lot of accomplishment, but I wasn't concentrating all that hard on it. And my idea for these is they can go into a junk journal once they've been decorated to a certain theme, or because they have the letters, they could also be sent to a friend with that initial as happy mail. So I'm going to keep making them. I enjoy making them, but I thought I would decorate one. I think I'll do an R. I kind of have someone in mind for an R. And I think I'm going to do Christmas/winter as a theme for it. And I've just got but I've got a bunch of Christmas die cuts and fussy cuts and Christmas cards and scrapbook papers, some things I received in Happy Mail. Those are very recent. My little snow globe I love. I've got some pink lined paper that might be handy. I'll put it where it belongs so I can find it when I need it. See, I've got more of these little girls. I was thinking I'd like to do something different. I just don't know what yet. Let's see, these are some of the papers that came out of this scrapbook page paper folder. We've got the ice blue and purple ice. And some blue with silver dots and blue with silver trees. Both of those are pretty. Really like this ice. Let's see where we get with that. I don't want to make just another version of something I've already made. So I'll look for more blues. There's a pretty blue. Of course, we can put some doily. There's a nice, it's a wintry tree scene. I don't know if you can kind of make that out. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Oh, joy to the world, but the joy is gone. Oi to the world. Maybe it's supposed to say oi to the world. I'm not sure. And there's a blue snowman. I'm doing a little collage there without even realizing what I'm doing. I'm thinking blue, white, silver for this. Maybe a little bit of wood grain would be good. Oh, and maybe some glass. Well, let's see how we make out with this. Get myself a doily out. There's some more blue papers that coordinate. And some music paper. I've got some music paper circles. Let's see how far that gets us. So for this card, I want to do an altered playing card with it. And it could be the sentiment here. So maybe what I'll do is just tidy up this fussy cutting a little bit. I've got a little jagged edge here. Still got in a hurry. Oops. Well, now I'm going to have to recut. Okay, I'm going to recut just inside the circle. And I kind of like the idea of that just sitting on the wood, but it needs to be inked. In my world, it needs to be inked. I just need a couple more Christmas videos, and then I want to switch to some New Year's Eve, New Year's celebration ATCs. So that is just out of a magazine, so that'll be easy to glue down just with glue stick. But because it's going on to a card which has a glossier surface, I am going to give it a little bit of 3-in-1 glue as well around the edge. So you can't see now that it was a Montana's card. And what I will also do, because this is going to be the cover of the folio, is I will decorate it with some little bits of flowers, I think. I think floral looks really good against the wood grain. I just saw something else I want to use. So let me just grab, I think I'm going to do pink flowers. That'll be in my lace. I think I'll do a little bit right here and maybe some more over here. I'm going to try to kind of curve it. Sometimes I feel like I need my tiny little scissors for this trim. I'll get that on with the 3-in-1. Kind of determine which is the back. And this stuff dries fairly quickly. Just going to hold it in place in a bit of a curve for a moment. Let me just take a moment to breathe. It's just the 18th of December. So things are starting to get a little crazy, and this is my one day off to be at home this week. And so close to Christmas, I should be wrapping presents or something, but I want to do this, so this is what I'm doing. And I'll put this up here in this corner. And again, just take a moment to breathe. The day will go on as soon as we're done gluing. And then I think it needs a little bow or something, but don't have anything pre-made. Let's see what we end up with for scraps at the end. But I do like that, a little bit of pink. And when we flip it over, what are we going to do here? Maybe a bit of napkin or something. I've got a snowman napkin. The colors might work. I think it still has the backing, one of the backings applied to it, so I'm going to see about getting that off. So if you haven't worked with napkins, to take the backing off, you need a little piece of tape is the easiest way I've found. And I've lost the end of my tape. There we go. And just put it on the corner of the napkin, just in from the edge, and pull. And it's going to lift up that base layer and leave you with just the printed layer. Some even have 3 layers. This one just has the 2 layers. It's a Temu one, I believe. A lot of them are inexpensively made, you might say. So here, maybe just the face. Oh, there's a few of them. So I'll use this guy with the blue hat. So how I would get them off, like I wouldn't cut them out. I would dip a paintbrush in some water. and sort of trace around him. That's about all that's going to fit on that card. It might not even all fit. So when you then tear it, it tears nice and jagged, fairly even. And then I can put that right on there and just sort of tear off the excess. Now, one other trick when you are gluing stuff to this playing cards that's maybe a little bit slippery is to grab an emery board, or I also have these little sanding blocks that are for fingernails, and you can just rough up the surface. You can also do this just to make the cards look older. See how it's taking off some of the design, but it's also taking off that lacquer coat or whatever they do to make it shiny. And I find that once I do that, the glue stick will work for holding that napkin on. So I'll just give it a really good coat of glue stick. I'll pretty much go all over the card. And just set that snowman right into it. Now that purple glue is going to dry clear, so you don't have to worry about seeing it. And where it's going to hang over, I'm going to let it go onto that spine, because it'll do something to strengthen that spine. And then these wispy edges that are going off the card can either be folded around, if that works, or just torn off, just like this. It'll follow the edge of the card. I don't think I want it on the front of this card. And you know, when I started doing stuff like this, I would be disappointed if I didn't get the whole image in the transfer. But really, you still know it's a snowman. It doesn't have to be the whole snowman for you to know it's a snowman. So just go for it. Okay, so there's a little snowman, and he needs a little bit of snow too. So let's give him, I'm going to do some snow coming across like this on him, but I think I want something underneath this on this page. This is where we're going to write. So I want to decorate here. And I think I want the pink here. So I think I'll do the blue in here. Let's do this white scene with blue top and bottom or something like that. We've got a little bit of blue here. I'm going to ink the edge. I really like the way pastels look with ink. So this irregular shape is just my white tear ruler. I think it's sitting here somewhere. I got it from Temu, and it does a nice irregular edge. I don't see it. Every time I rearrange my desk, I lose something. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, that there. And this will go up here. And fold around to the back. Actually, I'll put this, I'll put this at the bottom and fold around to the back and make a little pocket. So I'll do a whale tail tab punch in this straight edge. This is going to be shortened just a bit. I'm going to tear this edge so that it fits on the page. And then I'll center up I just use it to make an arc. Just use the very tip of it to make an arc. That's why I love that punch, because it doesn't just do whale tail tabs. It'll also do this for me. I think I'm going to tear that. Ink this whole thing. So if this is at the bottom like this, and I think I'll make this a tuck spot as well. And then this up here. And then those white, I don't know if you can see the white dots on the trees, but I'm going to put some glitter on those, I think. But this I'm going to make into sort of something that goes over the page on both sides. Sorry if I went out of screen there for a second. I tend to work close to my body sometimes, and it puts me out of camera. I'll ink that too on both sides. This is kind of cardstock, so it works well for this. Okay, so this needs to be glued down. It's just not newspaper, magazine paper. So this should do it. Get that sort of there. And then this tuck spot will cover the bottom edge of that picture. So it just gets a thin line of glue on each side so that it's a tuck spot. Hold that just for a moment. Let's see who else we can watch on YouTube while we're doing this video. Let's see who comes up in my feed. Shabby Dabby Doodah, Brenda Clark. We'll do a Brenda Clark. It's a 2-day-old video, and I don't think I saw it, so I'll run it. Now this, I don't usually do up tucks, so I think I'm going to glue this down. Actually, I just had a thought. That could be like the cover topper for a notepad. So let's do a pink pages notepad. It's going to have to be short-ish, so maybe about here. Tear these pages. Just do maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. I'll tear them to width as well. I'll just get in under here. Just do them in here. And I can finish this on the back. So that is glued just to the first page. What I'll do is I'll add a couple of staples, glue the back down, and then cover the staples with some more embellishments. My stapler's just on the back of the door in my, you know, those foot or shoe holders that go over the door. That's what I put my office supplies in. My assistant forgot to load the stapler. Ha ha, I don't have an assistant. But I do have staples, so I can figure that out myself. There's a few in there, but they weren't coming out, so I'm going to remove them and put a brand new sleeve in. There we go. I just love playing with a stapler. They can be such a cantankerous thing. Okay, so then this relates to down below, but it doesn't interfere with it. And then there's still a little tuck spot there if you want some tiny little thing tucked in. Now I will go back later and ink all these pages, but for now I'll just ink the front page. I always try to do a few pages or a pull out, like a fold out page or something on the inside of these. And then I'll glue that down. I'm just going to glue it along the top so it stays kind of loose. Just kind of center it on that picture that's underneath there. And now I don't think my idea of putting a doily there is going to work unless I do it a little different than I was thinking. And that stuff, I'm not sure where that's going to end up. I'm happy with that so far. This, I don't usually do too much to my index page that you write on, but this could maybe go along here. I'll just have to slice it down at the bottom here. So let's ink that up. A little bit of neutral with the pink and the blue. I haven't noticed I like pastels for Christmas. This is really more winter. I'm going to put it mostly on the index card, but just, again, going out onto my little paper hinge so it helps to reinforce it. And then I'm going to slice this up here so that it doesn't prevent it from bending there, because my hinge ends down here. I might even trim it on this side. Get rid of that excess paper. Like so. And then I'll bend it and crease it. Make sure it's sticking. A little rub down. We could certainly do a doily here and right over the top. I do like using doilies, especially with a snowy theme. It just kind of represents a snowflake to me. Okay, so what's on the back? We've got our tuck spot here, but nothing, it's not glued down yet. I was going to put the pink paper there, but I can put maybe this other blue paper here. What else have I got there? Oh, little tiny trees with silver stars. I don't think I'm going to use this one this time. What if I do this and then this? That's not reaching all the way to the bottom. And I can cut this so that we've got a similar border here. I found the best way to get something cut good and square from just a mark is my guillotine. So that's ending up being 3.5. And I'll ink it. I won't bother putting any fancy edges on it. I'll just ink it. I was going to have that like right about there, and then the trees sort of being tucked into the pocket will cover the fact that that doesn't reach, and I will ink those as well. Let's get this glued down. Because that's so big, I'm going to do this all over the glue stick. Any globs, I try to spread them out, and I think Aleene's will work. Tacky glue right close to the edge. Squiggle through the middle. Let's keep that right down. Trees facing up. Getting my 3 borders up at the top here as even as I can, at least from the angle I'm looking at. And I do have a scraper that I can use to get that all touching everywhere. And then these guys, I will ink the edges. So that it shows up against the blue. These are going to be in the pocket, but I'll ink it anyway. So I'm just going to draw myself a little line like here so that I can see where they need to go. Put a bit much on there. I know that'll dry clear, but it'll also dry a slightly different texture, so get that off of there. And this is drying on me already. And line that back up and place those down. As soon as I started gluing them, I thought to myself, you know, they could have been a tuck spot. They're cardstock cut out of some sort of cereal box, I think last year's Christmas cereal. So I could have left that as another tuck spot in behind, but too late now. Always try to think of those things. I'll just glue up this pocket. Hold it down for a few minutes, a few moments. Some icky bits to get rid of there. So this is going to be the back of our folio. And this is going to be the front. So this is where I was thinking I would put the pink and blue kind of icicle paper. I think, well, I can almost use the whole thing, but not quite. So why don't I do that'll show up. It's not enough contrast, is it? That might end up being something that I just tuck in here. Ink it up and tuck it right in a pocket. I love snow globes. I think I might have owned one snow globe in my life, and I don't seem to have one now. Not sure what happened to it. But I've always kind of liked snow globes. I guess I should tell my husband that so that he'll buy me one for Christmas. And then this, I could put the snowman top or bottom. Let's see, if this is going to be in front of it, the pink down here, then I could have the snowman. Oh, but then I've got two snowmen side by side. Maybe I just have the pink, and down here I have a little cluster kind of thing going on. So again with the guillotine. This is the cover. I want it to be anything other than just glued down. Well, here's where I could use some of this snowy mesh. That might look pretty. Yeah, that'll look pretty. So if I glue this down, then whatever I do along the bottom, I could do it as a little pocket. Just get that sort of semi-even around those top three edges. I like the look of that. A little bit of a burnish. And here's where I was going to put the doily. Is that still going to work? No, it's not going to work. Not the way I was thinking. Maybe I'll do something else there then. Another little trim. Maybe something silvery. Okay, so this needs a little persuasion. And this mesh, I'm going to have it so it lifts up. I have a little piece of pink gingham that might work well here. If I staple this mesh, I'll staple it so that the good side of the staple is on the inside here. Make sure I'm straight. And since that staple didn't work, I think I'm going to do it a slightly different way than just a straight staple. I'm going to do a little X, 2 staples. If it'll do a staple for me. There we go. Like that. This kind of has a bit more of a decorative look to it, and I think I'll do 3 of them. My goodness, misbehaving. Few rogue staples in there. Let's see if it works better now. I think it will. I'm going to hold that straight again. Again, I'm going to try to do a second X about halfway. And then a third X over towards the edge. They're not perfectly spaced. That's all right. I forgive myself. Now this looks quite crooked, so I'll just fix this edge of it. And that's okay. And that'll be on there. And this will be here. I'll just have it ribbon end, so fold it in half and go from the center to the edge on an angle. Sometimes need pretty sharp scissors to do it in one try. And that's not folded exactly in half, so let's try again. That's better. And then about that long. So I'll cut it to that length. And then I'll do another ribbon end. Hopefully I can get this in one try. Get it as close to in half as you can. And then that's not going to be perfectly in half, but it'll do. And then again with some 3-in-1. I'm going to just do a nice little zigzag of glue covering up the staples on the front. This doesn't seem to have a good side and a bad side, so I'm just going to set it into the glue. And that's a little bit lumpity-bumpity, so I might find another trim to put on top of it. Oh, I've got some tiny little pink ribbon that I think will look good. Can't really do that tiny little ribbon end on it, so I'm going to just let it be an angled end, and I'll make it line up sort of like that, and like that. And put another little roll of the glue. And set that right into it. And I think this card could be inked in pink. So let's just grab a pink ink pad. And instead of using a dauber, I want it a little bit more saturated. So I'm going to just use the ink pad itself to ink the edge of this card. Might as well ink the back side in pink too. These all dry now. Now what are we doing down at the bottom here? That's maybe where I could put the doily. Down at the bottom and coming up in here. Okay. So right there. And that's how I usually glue napkins on, is just a big mess of glue stick. And then on the back of the doily itself, I'll do just around the edges. And a little bit through the middle. And then on this side, I don't think I wouldn't make it a tuck spot because it's too fragile. So I'll just do the same thing and glue it down. Still need something here to cover these staples. I don't have to cover them. Staples are a fact of life, but I want to cover them. It gives me an opportunity to do something pretty. So what else can we use? We can use a little more of this pink. And even a little bit more of the gingham. Do that same combo. That can go beyond the edge, but this one can't, so we'll just cut it to length here. And then another little piece of this. What we call Pico ribbon. Ones with the little loops on the side. Pretty sure that's what that's called. I haven't used the little house yet. Maybe I'll put it on this, in this snowbank here. Little church. Looks good right there. It'll be visible when it's closed, but veiled. And maybe the star that I had picked out could go right here or right here, maybe just right here. Up in the sky. No, I think it needs to be down here. Oh, and I haven't used any of that music either. I think down at the very bottom here is where it's going to go. These are all cuts, fussy cuts out of Christmas decor catalog that we have access to at work, things we can buy to sell. And I think maybe we need a little word or something else down in the corner there. We got a star and a church. An angel. What do we got? Maybe just some pink flowers with a little bit of glitter on them. I want to add more glitter to the whole thing, but I can't really do that while I'm still decorating. I kind of have to wait till everything's done and then do the glitter and let it sit for a day or overnight. There we go. So we flip this. The other thing I could do is more papers to make this stronger. It's pretty good right now, but if it ever gets weak, I could always reinforce it with more papers or fabric. A little bit of writing space, our 3 X's, a little notepad, our tuck spot, it needs something. So usually when I'm doing something like this and I want to throw something in the tuck spot, I'll just use up my scraps and make little folders or tags or whatever. This I'll just fold in half and I will round the corners. Ink the edges. Tuck Tuck it in the tuck spot. That's holding the paper pad down. And this one might go in just as it is. It'll just squeeze in there. I don't think I want to put that like that though, because it completely covers that up. So why don't I fold this one in half this way? Make myself another little fold up tag kind of thing. Journaling spot. Trees facing up. There, now that looks sort of designed. And then you could stick something else like that in, but I don't think I will. And you could also put something else here. What have I got left that I could use up? More doily maybe. A little bit more of that mesh would look good there. Let's just cut a little piece off. This could go up here. I could try to just use it up if I've cut it like that. So let's just put a nice big squiggle of Fabri-Tac. And lay that right into it. Bumpy side up. Where can I use this? I think I'll use this piece on this little hinge. There's a bit more decoration and a little bit of reinforcement. The mesh will strengthen it. So the R person, probably Rose, my sister-in-law, will have a nice little adventure checking out all the little features of her little mini folio. That just needs a little time. So let's do a little flip through of it, and then I'll show you where I want to add some glitter, and I'll do the first application. I might have to do more than one. So we've got our front card. I want to do glitter around here, maybe even a little bit on each of the flowers. I want to make him shimmery. The rest can stay dull. I've got a little glitter on these flowers, so I want to add glitter like on the rooftops of the house, and where it looks like this is glittery on the star, I'm going to do glitter there. I'd like to find a sentiment for here. I might even do glitter on the staples. So let's start with what I can do kind of first time around. I want to make sure this doesn't come back down into my work. I don't splice videos together, so all I'm going to be able to do is show you this much, and then maybe it'll be shown in a flip through or something on Instagram if you want to see the rest. So I'll do around my oval, like I said. This Studio G glitter glue comes out pretty nice and thin. So I can get a fairly fine line. And then I'm going to do like a dot on each flower center. And then continue around the oval. And then more dots. And then on these trees, kind of have snow on some of the branches, so I'm going to do just randomly adding glitter onto where it's snowy. Fun. And then here, like I said, I want to do this top part of the star that looks glittery, but it's just a printed image from a magazine. I'm going to add the glitter really back into it. And then the roofs of the church. Where there would be snow. And maybe a little bit on those trees as well. And just all around the bottom so it's snowy. So that needs to dry before I could do anything else on the back side. I just kind of go around and make sure I've done as much as I want to do. Let me add just a little bit more to these ones so they look the same. And just around the edge of this flower. I think that's good for now. I'll have to let that dry, like I said, and then one of my New Year's resolutions is to do more on Instagram, so I'll do a little flip through of it on Instagram and show what I do to the other side, if anything. So watch for that. Oh, my snow globe can't go in right now. It'll have to sit there and hold that. So that was fun. I hope you've enjoyed watching my process for decorating one of these. And like I say, it's just 3 simple elements held together with strips of paper, index card dividers, and playing card. And I just position the playing card whichever way it fit best. So my S is way down here, so the card goes up high. This one, the T, so I've got the card down at the other end. This one, the UV was in the middle, sort of, so this ended up going sideways, just like this one did. So you can make them work either way, and I do find it to be a lot of fun to make little minis. They don't take as long, although this video is pretty long, but as long as, say, if you went back and watched my Ontario Traveler notebook folio that I made for my cousins in Ohio, that was like a 4 or 5 video process. So comparatively, this is quick and easy, and I just like doing all different themes in them. So this one's been fun. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out Caroline Jensen. I will link her below, and you can watch her videos as well. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Most of all, have a great day and happy crafting.